Yo, what up everybody? Arie here and welcome back to another video. Have you ever heard of the quote, good artists copy, great artists steal? Today we're gonna be switching that quote up. We're gonna make the quote, beginner artists copy, cheating artists steal, and great artists are influenced. Now you might be thinking, Arie, those are some bars, but like, what are you trying to say here? Are you calling me a cheater? And of course not. But what I'm trying to say is that great artists, what they do a lot of research to differentiate themselves and create something totally new and original. Now, of course, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but being unique and original almost always pays off. I mean, take a look at some of the biggest companies in the world. So we're hopping back into the store reviews. I just got back from a trip to Arizona. I was out there in Arizona trying to find a new place, but we're back into the store review series here. And I got a bunch of really interesting stores here to review that we're gonna learn so much from, you and I together at the same time. So if you love learning and you love making money and you love business and life in general, make sure to slap a quick like on this video and subscribe to the gang if you have not already. So as always, we're gonna be using our trusty tool, our best friend when it comes to these review series, SimilarWeb. And if you don't know what SimilarWeb is, it's, as it says on the screen right now, it's a market intelligence solution to optimize your digital effectiveness. Damn. So I guess I'm not the only one with bars. I'm only gonna be using the free version here. I don't pay for SimilarWeb. I use it for free through their Chrome extension, and I honestly recommend you guys to do the same. You really don't need to pay for it unless you're really committed. Maybe one day we will pay for it just so that we can all, sort of use it together for these store review series. So we're gonna be looking at some stores here. Some of them are in really obscure niches, but all of them are making ridiculous amounts of money. So if you're not simply inspired by, good products, hopefully you're inspired by the amount of cash that these stores are making, because it really is cool to see the possibilities out here in e-commerce. So the first store that we're gonna be looking at is called Ruggable. I've never browsed this store myself. I just found it, look at their traffic, and I figured, you know what? This looks pretty clean. Let me show the family what this is all about. And as you can see, they're a rug store. So what they do is they literally sell rugs. And as you can see, their website is really clean. This reminds me of just like the regular debut theme of Shopify, which is one of the free themes. But right away on their homepage, we can sort of see a value proposition here. Germs, meet your match. So these are rugs that you can, I guess, throw in the washer and, clean them up. I guess most rugs are not machine washable, which actually makes sense. It's something I never really thought about, but the rug that I have, it's pretty dense, it's pretty stiff, and it's probably not gonna fit in my washing machine unless I'm trying to break the machine, which I'm obviously not trying to do. But beyond that, these rugs are very simple. I would never have thought that you can make $1 million brand out of these simple rugs. And yes, this is $1 million brand. I'm not quite sure that they're doing over $1 million a month, but judging by their traffic statistics, we can see that in May, they received 874,000 monthly visitors, which means that they're at least making close to that amount in monthly revenue. And back in December, they did reach over 1 million visitors in that month. 100% a 7-figure brand, if not an 8-figure brand. And what I'm really curious to find out here is some of their best sellers, because I really don't know what would be a bestseller when it comes to selling rugs? What is a hot trending rug? I would never have thought of anything like that. You know what? This does look like a best-selling rug because the muted tones in this just create a really modern vibe. And this is definitely what a lot of people are going for nowadays when it comes to interior design. I'm not an exterior design expert or anything, but I do love all things, architecture, design, fashion design. I love all those things. And I can definitely see how this vibe is really appealing for a lot of people. I mean, this rug is very muted and it seems like it can match a lot of different modern settings. So actually it does make a lot of sense that it's their best seller. And as you can see, they have tons of reviews. I mean, 875 reviews. That definitely helps convert this $200 product probably really decently for this store. And I can see why they would make so much money through just this simple rug. So maybe this gives us a lot of different ideas for potential products to sell. And whether you're drop shipping or trying to create your own brand, looking at things like this, at least for me, really inspires me to look at different sectors. For example, looking at this, it kind of gives me the idea to maybe look for blankets that, have this similar modern style, or even towels, who knows, just something that most people would overlook when it comes to creating a business, because you think that it's just saturated or something like that, but actually it's not. Like when we look at these sort of brands, you can see that nothing is truly saturated if you can come up with a different offer, a slightly different design, or even just like a better marketing angle. Like those are all the things that make your brand stand out. And as you can see, their biggest pitch when it comes to their rugs is that you can throw them in the wash. And I think that's super cool. That's really innovative. It's something I never thought of, but now I'm thinking that I really need it, because carpets do get pretty gross. And even if you just vacuum it, that's not enough for a lot of people. And especially now with the whole virus thing, people are definitely gonna be more conscious of the sanitation in their homes. And this product, even though it has nothing to do with that directly, it does kind of play hand in hand with just like future buying behavior of people. I really love when people put their social media pictures on their site. That gives such good social proof. And I guess this is the app that they're using for that, Curate. That's actually really cool. I might even look into that myself for my brand. I love how many reviews they have, and they do seem pretty genuine. I'm surprised that they don't do any like picture reviews. I've actually noticed that with a lot of big brands that they don't do picture reviews, but I think the reason why is because, well, one of them probably because it slows down the site. And other reasons could be that, you know, they don't really need them, because a lot of their pictures here are like lifestyle images. And I think, you know, if you have lifestyle images, it kind of defeats the purpose of having like picture reviews, especially if the reviews are going to be really low quality. What I also think is kind of cool about this brand is that they put their founder story here. So this is sort of my goal personally, is to be like, not to be necessarily the face of my brand, but just to like fully embrace my brand and put my name behind it, you know? Because I definitely love the idea of selling things that you really believe in. And what I find interesting as well is that they have a philanthropy page here, but it doesn't really lead anywhere. So it kind of shows that even a brand like this that's doing insane numbers on a monthly basis and is extremely professional, they make mistakes too. I mean, look at this. Maybe one of you is from the Ruggable team. If you are, make sure you get this fixed. Come on now. Now, the next thing I want to do with this store is look at their ads. And I am going to be using a tool called AdSpy. Now, just like SimilarWeb, AdSpy is a marketing intelligence tool. But what it does is it kind of scrapes all of a particular brand's ads so that you can look at any ads that you want. Now, it is really expensive, so if you're just starting your business, you don't have a lot of money to spend, I don't recommend it as a tool. I would only recommend it for people who have money to reinvest into their business. And the free alternative to AdSpy is just the Facebook ad library. Now, as you can see, we easily found Ruggable on the Facebook ad library as well, but the only downside to the Facebook ad library is that it doesn't really show you any engagement on the ads. So it's hard to tell whether or not their ads are performing well or not. Whereas on AdSpy, we can definitely see that, you know, some of these have 37 shares, and it even shows you the sort of age demographic that's vibing with the brand the most. So what we're gonna do here is filter by shares, because if people are sharing something, it definitely means that it's working well. And as you can see, one of their ads has 7,600 shares, and it's actually from 2019, which is insane. So they scaled this ad through the roof. And let's take a look quick. Okay, so there is the scroll stopper. Boom, like the wow factor right there. This is a great ad. I love it. It's so simple and congruent, and I really love it. So I can see why it's doing so well. So as you can see, their ad copy here is a little strange. It's a review, which is kind of cool. I guess, you know, the video sort of speaks for itself. So they don't really need to say anything in the ad copy to further sell the product. So this is actually a really good idea to just put a, you know, customer review in the ad copy, since the video is so good. And what's weird is that it tells us the age range for this ad is 37 to 115 females, which is kind of weird. Who is 115 years old and shopping online? That's sort of what I would have expected the demographic to be, like anywhere from like 30 to, you know, 60-year-old, since those people are more likely to have disposable income to spend on a $200 rug, right? And if we keep scrolling here, that's kind of gross, but this is a really clever story ad. It's only 10 seconds long. It looks like a normal Instagram story that you would see from just somebody you follow. So it's an ad that doesn't really look like an ad. And I think that that's a big thing with marketing. If you can make your ad not look like an ad and just make it really seamless, and catch people's attention really well, then that ad is gonna be a winner for sure. And yeah, those are their most effective ads, which makes sense. These other ads look a little bit more, plain, whereas these seem very fun, and like I said, it catches your attention really quickly. So pretty cool store. I love to see how successful they are, and this gives me a lot of ideas, especially these sort of ads like this where it's really simple, and that ad copy review for cold traffic, I think that's really clever. So definitely some good stuff right here. Now the next store we're gonna take a look at here is called I Saw It First. So kind of a weird name, but the reason why I wanted to take a look at this is because to me, it looks like Fashion Nova. It looks like all these Fashion Nova type stores. But what's crazy is that, as you can see, they are getting 3 million monthly visitors. That's actually insane, considering the fact that this is basically like a Fashion Nova copycat, or maybe Fashion Nova copied them, who knows. But the point here is that these stores look exactly the same, yet they're both ridiculously successful. So this is another great example, in my opinion, of why you shouldn't always hesitate to sell something just because you think it's saturated. I mean, like I said, this looks very similar to Fashion Nova, and I would have thought that Fashion Nova is just completely destroying their the women's clothing market, but clearly that's not true. There's tons and tons of other brands, and this one in particular stuck out to me because it looks exactly like Fashion Nova. I mean, come on, at least it does to me, but maybe I don't know. Whoa, so what I find kind of interesting is that they have a wellness hub on their site. So they have a blog integrated with their site, and that's really cool. I really like that because it makes your brand bigger than just your products, right? Like, it's easier to build a community when you're providing content for your brand. I mean, it's kind of like what we're doing here, right? Like, you like to follow me because I give you content. It's not because I'm trying to sell you something, right? So this is a great way for brands to sort of build the same level of community, or at least similar level of community that personal brand influencers have, which is extremely powerful, and quite honestly, probably one of the reasons why they're so successful is because they're building this community in this way. And that is a great way that they were able to differentiate themselves from Fashion Nova, right? Fashion Nova doesn't have anything like this. For them, it's all about the product, all about influencers. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of their ads here to get an idea of maybe how they're differentiating themselves from all these other clothing companies, right? Okay, and as you can see, some of their most shared ads are things that are not even related to clothing, really. I mean, this is, they're running ads to a giveaway, for example, here to Venice, which is really interesting. I don't really see many people doing this sort of thing. Okay, so as you can see, they're not really running that many ads. Let me take a look at their most recent to see if they're actually doing anything different lately. Okay, so as you can see, one of the things that they're doing is just your classic carousel ad, which makes sense. I feel like for clothing brands or any brand that just has a ton of different products, it's pretty smart to run catalog ads like this where you can just showcase different products, different images, and it's clearly pretty effective. I mean, they're doing so much of that. But judging by how little people comment on these ads and stuff like that, I'm guessing that the majority of their success really comes from influencer relationships and stuff like that, which of course doesn't really surprise me too much, since Instagram is kind of the hub of like influencers and clothing and showing off, I guess. And yeah, I guess one of their big things too is that they have really affordable prices. So I mean, they even have a whole section called 10 pounds and under. So that's really interesting. That's actually really, really clever. So if you run a store with multiple products, this is a good way to create new offers. So that's really what I think the biggest learning lesson from this store that we can take is that even in saturated markets, there's always ways to differentiate yourself, whether it be by making a blog and treating your community a little bit differently than most brands, or by creating original offers or original collections like this store has done, a 10 pounds and under category. And with these images, I mean, it has such a high perceived value, yet the price is so low. I can definitely see that people would definitely buy this. So much stuff to learn. There's so many brands out there that we can learn a ton of things from. And this is why I love doing these sort of series, because in order to continue to improve, whether it be with your business or even if you don't have a business, but you want to start a business, The only way to improve is to self-educate. Of course, the best learning lessons come from your own experience, but to really maximize your potential in any field, you have to be fully immersed in it. Okay, so my card just ran out of space, which is a sign that I should probably cut this video right here. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments which one of these 2 stories you found most inspirational. I know I definitely learned a lot. Every single day I go through my comments and answer you guys because I love the community that we've built here and I really want you to love being a part of it as well. So make sure to slap a like on this video, subscribe to the family, and with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.